Uh, if you look behind for every exceptional person, there is an exceptional teacher. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is the penultimate day of our program. We have already passed 2 days of our enrichment program. Today, we will be further enriched. Social science is an interdisciplinary field that combines multiple disciplines to study human behavior, society, and relationship. To give us a vivid idea about interdisciplinary approach in social science, I am going to invite Madam Jyoti Verma, TGT Social Science, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Mehta Vidyalaya, New Delhi, to start her presentation. Madam, please take the stage and share your expertise with us. Madam Jyoti Verma.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar to everyone present in this esteemed gathering. I hope I am clearly audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Jyoti Verma, TGT Social Science from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Mehta Vidyalaya, Delhi. I'm deeply honored to have been given the opportunity to speak at the Social Science Faculty Development Program organized and conducted by Bhavan's Tripura Vidyamandir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Sir Dr. A.K. Sharma, Regional Education Officer, Sir Dr. Rajat Dey, Madam Swapna Shome, and Madam Nilanjana for selecting me as one of the speakers for this program. The topic of my presentation is Interdisciplinary Approach in Social Science. So what exactly is interdisciplinary approach? An interdisciplinary approach integrates concepts, methodologies, and perspectives from the multiple disciplines to address complex problems and enhance learning. This method of education moves beyond the traditional boundaries of specified subjects, encouraging the students to synthesize information from various fields to develop a more comprehensive understanding of complex issues. Now, what is the importance? Why there is so much of stress, the importance given to interdisciplinary approach? So there are definitely some advantages to it. The biggest advantage is that it breaks down the academic boundary. Now, how come it can be an advantage? As it fosters a broader perspective and deeper understanding of complex topics. It encourages the students to transcend the confines of a single discipline, fostering a broader perspective and a deeper understanding of complex topics. It also fosters the holistic understanding. It integrates various perspectives and methodologies, and it also provides a holistic understanding of a subject. So a single topic is, it is tackled from the different subject point of view. It encourages collaboration. So it promotes collaboration among various fields of study, enhancing the teamwork and communication skills. And also it is both essential in the academic and of course the professional settings. So I now request, there is a small video to highlight the importance of interdisciplinary learning.
I'm back again with another video message. As I said last time, we're now going to take a deep dive into what we're doing at Baldwin through the lens of our divisions to give you an idea of what's going on behind the scenes. This month, I'm going to talk about the middle school. Studies show that one of the best ways to prepare our girls for the world around them is through interdisciplinary learning. Interdisciplinary learning is when our girls are taught to apply information from across subjects to solve complex problems. Learning in a single discipline and sticking with it won't work for today's students who are entering a fast-paced, ever-changing, globally connected world. Preparing our students for tomorrow requires breaking down the silos that have historically existed between disciplines. It's what I see when I walk into French class and see our French teachers teaming up with the Dream Lab to teach our girls about French history and the language by building French castles from the Loire Valley, connecting with math, art, architecture, and design, and of course French too, to understand the subject matter at hand. It's what you see when you walk into English class and see our girls studying Romeo and Juliet, and then designing the stage on which the play will be performed, understanding the production through the physicality of the set itself, making the connections across discipline, using design and construction to understand what they're learning. This interdisciplinary approach is also what underpins the 3-day mini week that our middle school girls are so excited about. Before spring break, they'll engage in workshops designed by teachers who pair from different disciplines, teaching the girls things like wellness and health by having them do aerial yoga. One of my favorite examples is when the girls will study environmental science by photographing the nature and wilderness around them, understanding what they see through the lens of artists and scientists and mathematicians too. Our approach to interdisciplinary education is why I'm so confident that Baldwin's middle school girls will go on to come up with the creative solutions we need to solve the world's most complicated problems.
So further elaborating the benefits of interdisciplinary approaches in teaching and learning. So the first advantage is the enhanced critical thinking. Students get exposed to a variety of viewpoints and methodologies. They also get the exposure to develop a more nuanced and well-rounded understanding of issues. Diverse perspectives. Students encounter different viewpoints, methodologies from various fields of studies. For example, a project integrating history and economics to evaluate historical events through by studying both the historical context and the economic policies implemented during the time. For example, the Great Economic Depression. So while teaching in the history, we also have to explain the economic aspect behind the Great Economic Depression. Comparative analysis. Students learn to compare and contrast different approaches to problem, leading to more refined and analytical skills. For example, analyzing the climate change through scientific data and social policy impacts. Students might compare the effectiveness of different countries' policies on reducing the carbon emissions and their impact on global warming. This comparative analysis helps students understand the complex interplay between science and politics. Encouragement of complex problem solving. So multidisciplinary approach helps and enable the students to tackle different complex problems from multiple angles, leading to more comprehensive and innovative solutions. More benefits. Creative problem solving. So it encourages innovative thinking by blending the ideas from different disciplines. Designing a new app, for example, it combines technology, design principles, and user psychology. Students might create an educational app that uses gamification to enhance learning based on principles from the game design, educational theory, and cognitive psychology. This creative problem-solving approach encourages the students to think outside the box. Creative collaboration. For example, group projects, where students from the diverse discipline work together to develop the new solutions. The team might include a computer science student, a commerce student, and students maybe from maths to work together to develop a new product. This creative collaboration enhances the students' ability to work in diverse teams. Encouragement of holistic understanding. Interdisciplinary education promotes comprehensive understanding of subjects beyond traditional academic boundaries. Integrated knowledge. It promotes a comprehensive understanding of subject beyond traditional academic boundaries. Like if a student is studying environmental issues, so the science, the political science and ethics, everything get involved. So the student might analyze the ethical implications of environmental policies, the scientific basis for these policies, and then the political implications. So these integrated knowledge helps the students to appreciate and realize the complexity of the environmental issues. Interconnected learning. So this encourages the student to see connections between different areas of knowledge, like the link between the cultural practices and environmental sustainability. Practical implementation of interdisciplinary approach in schools. So how they are actually implemented. So at school, we have basically the 3 levels. So let's say in the primary school educations, through integrated curriculum, this can be worked out. So this integrated curriculum, it encourage integration of subjects like science with social studies and maths with environmental education. So the students can be given a project that combine lessons on plants, which deals with the science aspect, with their role in environment, social studies. Students might grow plants in the classroom by learning about the ecological importance and role in human culture. This integrated curriculum helps the students see the connections between the different subjects. Then activity-based learning, which we all are doing every day, or at least 3 to 4 activities we are conducting at least a week. So like example, building a model of a sustainable community that includes integration of concepts from the science, maths, and social studies. Students might calculate the resource needs, design energy efficient buildings, the models, and consider the social infrastructure like schools and hospitals. This activity-based learning approach enhances students' practical understanding of interdisciplinary concepts. Again, holistic development. So holistic development emphasizes cognitive, emotional, and social development through interdisciplinary approach. Art projects. So art projects, suppose if it is given on, say, on a particular culture, the history of a culture. So basic, the science behind using the different, suppose the colors also, that is also an example of an integrated approach. So the students might create art pieces inspired by different culture while learning about the science of materials use. This holistic development approach promotes students' overall growth. Now coming to the next level, and before that, again, a small video. I request all of you to please watch this video.
Hello, my name is Vitalis Sarasopoulos and I'm a primary school teacher.
This video is actually in Spanish language. So basically, I'll just give you a brief. The teacher is conducting an activity in which students are asked to bring different clothing items, which is to be washed. So the students are using different soaps. They are washing the cloth, one single piece which they have brought. So there is an interdisciplinary approach teaching the science behind the different soaps. The science behind segregating the clothes on the basis of color, why they are segregated. Then children themselves are washing the cloth. So that teaches that, giving equality, gender equality, no work is small, encouraging students' participation in the household work. So this video is about that. Now I'm playing the video.
Currently, I am teaching the 3rd grade, that is 8-year-old pupils. Last week with my students, we tried to implement the activity about clothes. After the initial discussion about why we have to wash our clothes, we tried to figure out the rules we have to follow for a safe and effective wash. First of all, we tried to separate our clothes by their color and explain the different approach in each category. For example, higher temperature for dark clothes. So, Mike, we'll find out video. Okay. Λοιπόν, τι κάνουν πάλι άμα, τι προσέχει η ΟΒΑΣ πριν βάλουμε το κτίριο.
Και χωρίζουμε τα άσπρα από τα μαύρα.
Πολύ ωραία. Χωρίζουμε τα άσπρα με βάση το χρώμα. Γιατί? Γιατί να.
Γιατί αν είναι κάτι.
Τι είναι αυτό που θα κάνει τα ρούχα να ξεβάψουν? Τι είναι? Ωραία, χρωματιστό και γιατί όμως ξεβάφουν? Ξάδι. Είναι κάτι τα κάνουμε τα ρούχα. Καταβάζουμε σε χαμηλή θερμοκρασία ή σε υψηλή θερμοκρασία? Και τι σημαίνει να κάνει μεγάλο κομμάτι σε ψυχική δημοκρασία αυτό. Θέλω να είναι απλά βγαίνει. Και αν έχω μαζί και κάτι το οποίο είναι άλλο, τι θα κάνει μετά. Θα γίνει και το άστρο, θα γίνει, θα πάρει χρόνο. Ωραία. Λοιπόν, περίπου μαζί σας. Έτσι πώς θα το δω. Ωραία. Είμαστε έτοιμοι να τα χωρίσουμε με τον σωστό τρόπο. Ωραία. Τι κατηγορίες έχουμε θα φτιάξουμε. Για να ακούσω. Πώς θα ξεχωρίσουμε τα λοιπά. Πώς θα είναι. Με βάση τον χρόνο. Ποια είναι η πρώτη μας κατηγορία. Τα. Πρώτη κατηγορία είναι τα. Ωραία. Άλλη κατηγορία. Αναμάχα. Άλλη κατηγορία. Που είναι. Κάτι πήγε λίγο εδώ. Δηλαδή, τα σκούρα πράγματα. Και άλλη μια κατηγορία. Παράει. In the second part of the activity, we try to focus on stain removal. We discuss the different kinds of stains, like juice or tomato sauce, and how we can remove them from clothes. Then we experiment with various stains on some clothes, using the 5 different cleaners, and that conclude the best solution in every case. The implementation of the activities was very easy and very interesting for all of us. But I have to mention 2 important things. First, it's better to use cleaners that are not harmful or poisonous because it's safer for children. Also, in the activity, I focus mostly on boys in order to promote diversity in STEM education, because usually washing clothes is considered to be a woman's duty.
So this video was actually a very good example of a interdisciplinary approach between science and the okay. Now coming to the middle school education. So in middle school, the thematic units which organize subjects around common themes for a more connected learning experience. For example, a theme on climate change, it integrates science, climate science, social studies, impact on communities, and language arts, writing reports. Students might study the science of climate change, the effects on different communities, and communicate their finding through the written reports. This thematic unit approach helps the students see the connections between the different subjects. Collaborative learning. It encourages the group work that combine the different disciplines, knowledge from the different disciplines. For example, a group project on sustainable cities, combining geography, science in geography, city planning, science, environmental impacts, and maths, resource calculations. So the students might work together to design a model city that balances the environmental sustainability with economic viability. In class 9th, we have an interdisciplinary project, the history, forest, society and colonialism, and geography, natural vegetation and wildlife, which showcases a multidisciplinary approach by linking historical impacts of colonial policies on forest with geographical aspects of vegetation and wildlife. This integrated approach fosters a deeper understanding of environmental and societal changes over time. Skill development. So what skill? Critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. They all get encouraged through the interdisciplinary project. Now coming to the senior school education. So choice-based electives. So students are offered a range of elective subjects from different streams to allow exploration of diverse interests. The electives like environmental science, global issues, and digital media that cross traditional subject boundaries. Students may choose electives that align with their interests and career goals, exploring subjects in depth. This choice-based elective approach promotes students' engagement and motivation. Project-based learning, a very common base, very popular among the teachers and the students, in which the students also enjoy doing a lot. So students can be involved in the complex projects that require integration of knowledge from the various disciplines, like a project on the urban development involving economics, political science, and environmental studies. Now, coming to the 21st century skills. So these are some of the 21st century skills. We all are aware, and we try to inculcate these 21st centuries among our students. So can the interdisciplinary approach helps in encouraging these 21st century skills? So let's watch again a small video and try to understand.
Disciplinary is important. I think it's sort of all the different angles or ways that they can learn about a topic, all the ways that in each subject area, from social studies to math, science, to art, to music, any way that you can teach kids about a single subject from all of these different angles. I just think it helps them to see how everything can be connected, and they become kind of systems thinkers. They never look at one thing from one angle.
And even if it doesn't work, the emperor can learn something, right? Because you can report to the emperor, here's what we tested. It doesn't work, and here's why. And the emperor has a lot more land in China, and flooding is all over. So he can learn from what you're finding. So it's still useful to try an experiment and have it fail and see what you figure out.
You know, it's the creativity, getting it out, doing those kinds of things. I just think that we haven't labeled it as it's okay to make a mistake, and not just, okay, you made a mistake, but you'll get it right eventually. No, it's like, you made a mistake. What did that tell you?
And that, I feel like that is great learning. And then my underneath, all of it is water matters. Water is really important. It was important back then, and we're going to take this up to water is important today.
They were just so into the fact that they were making oil paint, and they were making watercolor paint, and they were making acrylic paint, and all these paints that they use on a regular basis in art, but that they were actually making it. And like, really, are you kidding me? It starts with this powder. Like, all of these paints starts with this powder that originally was found in nature.
Getting their hands dirty, getting in there and really trying the water when it flows, what happens?
So I'm not being a goddess and spraying out. Yeah. Then you really look at the minutia of what happens. Don't judge it right away. Don't turn into, oh, my idea didn't work. It's more, you know, what did happen? What's really there? And then think some more on it, reflect on it. So that's, I'm hoping they're learning from doing. That's what I want.
Interdisciplinary work is important because students are able to make connections to the variety of content that they've learned in various subjects, and helps them to bring it all together to walk away with a firmer and deeper understanding of the issue at hand.
To me, that's the behind the scenes of what's happening here, is really seeing when that melt comes, what is it like? And I love this compared to doing it on a screen or drawing it, because they're in the mud, they're building it, the water's pouring down. What happens? It's so much fun.
So some of the interdisciplinary approach, some of the 21st century skills that are further encouraged by the interdisciplinary approach, critical thinking and problem solving. So the students are encouraged to analyze issues from the multiple perspective, promotes innovative solutions by integrating knowledge from various disciplines. Collaborations. It involved group projects in requiring the teamwork across the different subject areas. Communication, which requires clear articulation of ideas during the interdisciplinary discussions. It develops both the written as well as the oral communication skills through diverse projects, creativity and innovations. It stimulates creative thinking by connecting the concepts from the different fields, encourages innovative approaches to solve complex problems. Digital literacy, very required during the during this 21st century skills. So it utilizes interdisciplinary approach, encourages and use technology for research, presentations, and collaborations. Ethical reasoning. It integrates ethical considerations into the study of social sciences. It fosters responsible decision-making and awareness of moral implications. Global awareness. Global awareness, it encourages understanding of global issues by studying them through the various viewpoints. It promotes a broader perspective on worldwide challenges and solutions. Adaptability. Develop flexibility in thinking and learning by engaging with different subjects. It prepares the students to adapt to new and changing situations and scenarios. Information literacy. It teaches the students to evaluate and synthesize information from the multiple sources. It enhances the ability to discern credible information and make informed decisions. Leadership and initiative. Encourages taking the lead in interdisciplinary projects and develop initiative by exploring and connecting diverse topics independently. Now coming to the National Education Policy 2020 and what are its recommendations related to the interdisciplinary approach to educations. So its key recommendations were holistic and flexible learning. So it emphasizes the interdisciplinary education for holistic learning. We have curriculum designed. It encourages to have curriculum designed to integrate art, science, and vocational subjects, promoting a well-rounded education. This holistic and flexible learning approach prepares the students for the diverse career paths. Integration of art, science, and vocational subjects promotes a well-rounded education that prepares the students' career path. The courses that combine technical skills with creative art, such as program that integrate computer science with digital art. This integration of arts, science, and vocational subjects promotes students' versatility. Critical thinking and creativity encourages breaking disciplinary silos to foster innovation. The projects students can be given where the students will apply the knowledge from multiple fields, such as designing a sustainable product that considers environmental impact, market feasibility, and user experience. This critical thinking and creativity approach promotes students' innovation skills. Flexible curriculum framework, which allows the students to choose their courses from the various disciplines, promoting a customized learning experience. So modular system, it allows the students to choose courses, as I said, from various disciplines, and then cross-disciplinary electives. It also enables the student to choose the courses from various disciplines, promoting a customized learning experience. Cross-disciplinary electives enable exploration of subject outside the primary field of study, broadening the study and the different perspective. Choice-based credit system, CBCS. It enables exploration of subject outside the primary field, broadening the student's perspective. A science student can take course in philosophy and economics to better understand the societal implications of scientific advancement. This cross-disciplinary elective approach promotes students' versatility. Another beside this, we can have interdisciplinary courses, which promotes creation of courses integrating content from multiple disciplines, and that fosters the critical thinking. Course on climate change and policy. It combines environmental science, political science, and economics. This interdisciplinary courses approach promotes students' innovation skills. Skill development focus. Core skills. Core skills are critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving. So students can use these critical thinking, and they can promotes different. It encourages the students' versatility. Workshops and seminars. So we can have interdisciplinary research methods and collaborative problem solving. These workshops and seminars approach promote students' critical thinking and creativity. Experiential learning opportunities, internship and fieldwork. It encourages real-world experience through practical projects, bridging the gap between the theory and practice. Internship with organizations working on sustainable development allow the students to apply the classroom knowledge in real-world setting. This internships and fieldwork approach promotes students' practical understanding of interdisciplinary concepts. Hands-on learning. It emphasized the learning through the diverse settings, including labs, workshops, and field studies. For example, field studies in local communities to understand the impact of environmental policies on different populations. This hands-on learning approach promotes students' practical understanding of interdisciplinary concepts. Integrated projects, collaborative projects, which promotes interdisciplinary collaboration and enhance the team work skills. The project involving a science student, a commerce student, and maybe a math student working together to develop a green technology project. This collaborative project approached the students' teamwork skills. Real-world applications. So it encourages applying knowledge to complex problems and preparing the students for future. Now, interdisciplinary approach in social science. So social science, right from the beginning, has been using the interdisciplinary approach. So history and geography. So history provide a context to geographical changes over time, while geography help explain the environmental factors influencing the historical events and societal developments. Then economics and political science. Economics offers insight into resource allocation and economic policies, which are crucial for understanding political decisions and governance structures in political science. Sociology and anthropology. So sociology examines the social structures and relation, while anthropology offers a broader cultural perspective, enriching the understanding of human behavior and societal evolution. Similarly, psychology and sociology. So psychology explores individual behavior and mental process, complementing the sociology's focus on group dynamics and social interactions. So together, they offer a complete picture of human behavior within societal context. So these interconnections have allowed social science to develop a more comprehensive understanding of human society even before the advent of formal interdisciplinary approaches. So interdisciplinary approach in social science, to further elaborate, there is an integration of different branches of social science. They all address the complex societal problems through collaborations. They offer a comprehensive understanding of different topics and different issues. It offers innovative solution as it encourages the creative and effective problem solving. And holistic approach, of course, right? That's the very essence of the interdisciplinary approach, as it bridges the gap between discipline for well-rounded research. Importance. Coming to the importance of interdisciplinary approach in social science. So comprehensive understanding of complex issues. So it integrate methods and theories from various disciplines, and it provide holistic understanding. For example, studying the water cycle involves integrating concepts from geography, chemistry, and environmental science. Students will suppose this project is given. So what the student will learn? They will learn how water evaporates. So chemistry is involved, forms cloud, geography, and affects weather pattern. Environmental science, providing a holistic understanding of this essential natural process. Again, enhanced problem solving skill. Again, it's a very important essence of our interdisciplinary approach. So it combines perspective from different fields to cultivate a broad range of problem solving strategies. Again, an example of a project on renewable energy sources that can combine physics, maths, and economics. So students explore how solar panel work, that's the physics behind it, design and build model, maths, and some physics also, of course, and analyze the cost benefit of renewable energy economics. So fostering a broad range of problem solving strategies. Promotion of innovative research. A science fair project on robotics merge computer science and mathematics. So again, and they can come up with a very novel, a very unique idea. Integration of diverse perspective. Again, the different disciplines are brought together that offers a diverse and multiple perspectives. So suppose they have been given a project to investigate the impact of pollution on health. So it involves biology, chemistry, and social studies. Students examine how pollutants affect human health. There is a biology behind it, the chemical composition of pollutants, chemistry, and the societal impact of pollution, social studies. And this again ensures a multiple perspectives. Then bridging the gap between theory and practices. This is again a very important benefit of a interdisciplinary approach. A simple project, a simple activity of gardening. So there is a integration of biology and environmental science and physical education as well. So when the students learn about plant, biology, sustainable gardening practice, environmental science, and when they engage in the physical activity while working in the garden, there is a physical education. So this interdisciplinary approach bridges the gap between the theoretical knowledge and the practical applications, making learning more relevant and engaging. Fostering collaboration and teamwork. So it requires teamwork between experts from the different fields. Again, a small example. Suppose there is a group project on creating a school recycling program. So it can include students from science, social studies, and art class. Science student will analyze waste composition, social studies student research community impact, and art student design promotional materials, fostering teamwork and collaborations across the discipline. Then development of critical thinking skills, exposure to different disciplinary methods and theories develop the thinking skill. So suppose there is a debate on ethical implications of genetic engineering. So there will be a combination of biology, ethics, and public speaking. The public speaking is also a very important aspect of a interdisciplinary approach. Adaptation to global challenges. So interdisciplinary approach are crucial for understanding, and they are very important for facing the global challenges. So climate change, again, a very important topic. So a school project that involves climate change. So there is an integration of environmental science, geography, and economics. Students study the science behind the climate change, environmental science, its geographical impact, and economic strategy for mitigation that involves economics, preparing them to understand and respond to global challenges. Supporting policy development and evaluation. A mock government project where students develop and evaluate the school policies on nutrition. So there is a health education involved, there is a civics because there is a involvement of policy making, and mathematics, data analytics. And of course, encouraging the lifelong lifelong learning, which is again very important. So there is a continuous learning process behind interdisciplinary approach. And when the students go later in the college and later on in their jobs, they keep on adopting this interdisciplinary approach. Now, two small case studies I'm presenting before you. One is Finland's education system. So Finland has it has successfully implemented in the school, and it is renowned for an interdisciplinary approach. School emphasizes thematic learning where subjects are integrated around common themes. This approach promotes a holistic understanding of topic and enhances students' critical thinking skills. Hands-on project. For example, this is also one of the very popular strategy. So students are engaged in hands-on project that requires the integration of knowledge from multiple disciplines. Another example is the Singapore's curriculum reform. Singapore has implemented significant curriculum reforms to promote interdisciplinary learning. The country's education system emphasizes critical thinking, creativity, and the application of knowledge to real-world problems. Project-based learning. So, project-based learning, again, a very popular there, as well as, of course, in our country also, we use mostly the project-based learning. So that requires the application of knowledge from the various disciplines. Now, there are certain challenges in adopting the interdisciplinary approaches. So what are these challenges? I'm briefly dealing with them. So one is the curriculum design and structure. There is a rigid curriculum. So the traditional curricula are often rigid and subject specific, and making the integration of interdisciplinary approaches sometimes very difficult. So in many schools, history and geography are taught as separate subjects with little overlap. A rigid curriculum schedule does not allow the time for the projects that integrate both subjects, such as studying the geographical influence on historical events, which would provide a more comprehensive understanding. Teachers' preparation and training. So sometimes the teachers may lack expertise in multiple disciplines, making it challenging to teach the interdisciplinary courses. For example, a history teacher might not have the necessary background in economics to effectively teach a unit on how historical trade routes influence the economic development. Without educate training, the teacher may struggle to provide a cohesive interdisciplinary lesson. Then coming to the assessment method, standardized testing. Standardized tests often assess students on discrete facts and concepts within a single subject, such as specific historical dates or geographical terms. This approach does not measure students' ability to integrate and apply the knowledge across the discipline, such as analyzing how historical events shape the geographical boundaries. Resources and materials. So sometimes the schools and the teachers do not have the necessary resource material to conduct a interdisciplinary topic. Institutional and systematic barriers are also there. Sometimes the schools may lack the administrative supports and flexibility. Students' engagement and understanding, though the modern student, the present student, like if we talk about, they are very enthusiastic, but sometimes some students may struggle to adapt to interdisciplinary approach. Collaboration and coordination. Sometimes there is the teachers belonging to the two different disciplines, they may not have the time to interact with each other, having different timetables. So that is again a difficult situation which sometimes the teachers face in implementing the interdisciplinary approach in learning process. So what are the solutions? Curriculum reform. That's the first solution. So flexible curricula applies and it allows for the interdisciplinary approach and integration. Professional development. So professional development, it offers, schools might organize workshops and training sessions for teachers, which focuses on the interdisciplinary techniques, like the workshops which we are having. For instance, a workshop in integrating science and social studies. So there can be special workshops on 2 different subjects, teachers, and that can give them certain tips to how to integrate their lesson plans. Resource development. So resource development, the educational publishers or school districts might create resource kits for exploring the human rights issues. For example, that include materials from history, historical human rights violation, literature, and social studies. These kits would provide teachers with diverse resources, including lesson plans, multimedia content, and project ideas that cover multiple disciplines. Policy support, which is again very important. So educators and administrators might advocate for policy changes that support cross-disciplinary programs. They could push for funding for interdisciplinary curriculum development or the creation of dedicated time slots for the interdisciplinary projects in the school schedule. And then promoting collaboration. So encouraging and facilitating collaborations always among the different departments helps in dealing with the interdisciplinary approach. Future directions and trends. I will briefly deal with this. Technological advancement. So technology is definitely playing a very important role in making the interdisciplinary approach a possible approach. Artificial intelligence, so they can facilitate personalized learning experience and they can analyze the students' learning pattern, adapting to the curriculum and their needs. Virtual reality, so students, virtual reality, the students can be taken to the virtual tours of ancient civilization, exploring historical sites, observing the geographical features and understanding the cultural practice. Data analytics. So analyzing the project outcomes, educators can use that data analytics tools to evaluate interdisciplinary projects like a community-based research program on local environmental issues. And then by collecting and analyzing the data, the students' performance, the feedback that can help in further modifying a plan to suit the children's requirement. Global collaboration. So the schools from the different countries can collaborate and they can work on the interdisciplinary projects. Similarly, international partnership. So the schools might establish partnership with international universities for interdisciplinary research project. Cross-cultural learning. Cross-cultural learning involves global cultural exchange program, which most of the schools are having nowadays. So program like global education projects allow the students to explore cultures and social issues from around the world. So in the last, I will sum up by I will give a summary of my presentation in few words. So interdisciplinary approach in social science education provide a robust framework for developing a well-rounded critical thinkers capable of addressing the complex societal issues. By integrating diverse perspectives and fostering collaboration, these approaches prepare students for the challenges of the modern schools. Schools can implement interdisciplinary educations through integrated curricula, project-based learning, and flexible course options while overcoming challenges through supportive policies, collaborative networks, and innovative assessment method. The future of interdisciplinary education is likely to be shaped by technological advancement and global collaborations, offering the new opportunities for enhancing the quality and effectiveness of educations. With this, I sum up my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Jyoti Verma. Your presentation was truly enlightening. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us. Now, I will request Madam Nanda Rai to sum up the session of Madam Jyoti Verma. Madam Nanda Rai.
Good evening to everyone. It's my pleasure to be here to sum up the session on interdisciplinary approach in social science. First of all, I'd like to thank resource person for the day, Madam Jyoti Verma, for enriching us with her extensive experience. Madam has explained the concept very clearly and used very relevant examples to make us understand. Madam has started with the definition interdisciplinary approach, where Madam has explained that an interdisciplinary approach is a method that integrates ideas, theories, and methods from multiple disciplines to address a topic or a problem. Next, Madam has focused on the importance of interdisciplinary approach through break down academic boundaries and to fosters holistic understanding through encourages collaboration. Madam has also highlighted on benefits of interdisciplinary approaches in teaching learning process by enhancing critical thinking, diverse perspectives, comparative analysis, encouragement of complex problem solving, creative problem solving, creative collaboration, encouragement of holistic understanding, and integrated knowledge. Next, practical implementation of interdisciplinary approach in schools. Madam has highlighted that how we should implement it in different stages of the school, that is in the primary school of education, through integrated curriculum, activity-based learning, and through holistic development. In the middle school education, through thematic units, collaboration learning, and through skill development focuses on critical thinking. Next, in senior schools education, Madam has added to choice-based electives, which offers a range of elective subjects from different streams to allow exploration of diverse interests. Through project-based learning, which engages students in complex projects that requires integration of knowledge from various disciplines. Madam has also added 21st century skills, which helps to integrate in the social science. Next, Madam has added how the interdisciplinary approach develops 21st century skills in students. And National Education Policy NEP 2020 has also focused on interdisciplinary nature of education. NEP 2020 and interdisciplinary. So the Madam has also focused on the recommendations, that is through holistic and flexible learning, through integration of arts, science, and vocational subjects, critical thinking and creativity, flexible curriculum, modular system, many or more. Lastly, I want to add that teaching should not be watertight compartment. Water should flow from one compartment to other compartment, and the intermixing of the compartment is not only going to benefit the learner, but to sharpen their ability to think critically and to communicate effectively. What we need to understand is how to connect social science with other subjects and help children learn effectively. So through Madam's session, we have come to understand that how teachers need to improve a lot and to provide better education to our students through an interdisciplinary approach. So, Madam, your session was very fruitful. Hope many of us have got benefited by it. And I will finish here. Thank you. Thank you all. It was really a very fruitful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I have just posted a small link to a Google form in the group of our social science enrichment, and I request all the participants to kindly attempt the quiz so that I can know how successful I was in presenting my PPT. Thank you.
Thank you, Nanda ma'am. That was outstanding. Perception of social science has undergone significant changes over the years, reflecting shifting societal values, advances in research method, and the evolving nature of the discipline themselves. Now, I will request Sir Diptanu Pal, PGT Political Science, Bhavan Tripura Vidyamandir, Agartala Kendra, Sir is going to start his presentation on the topic changing perception of social science. So please start your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Madam. Yes, sir, you are. Just excuse me, sir. Just wait, sir. Ma'am Jyoti Verma will definitely try this quiz. Definitely. Thank you, sir. Now you please start your presentation.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and respected audience. I am honored to be speaking at this virtual site today. I, Diptanopal from Bhavan Tripura Vidyamandir, will try to put a light on the topic of changing perception of social science. But before I start, ma'am, am I visible?
Yes, sir, you are
Excuse me.
visible.
Okay.
You are visible, sir.
Thank you. My screen is also shared now.
Yes, sir. Your screen is shared.
Okay, just one. But before I start with my presentation, I would like to thank the principal of Bhavan Tripura Vidyamandir, Srimati Shopna Shom Madam, and the regional officer, educational officer of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Dr. A.K. Sharma sir, for organizing such an important enrichment program for social science faculties and allowing me to share my thoughts on changing perception of social science. This webinar is a crucial platform for discussing the topic, and I am excited to be a part of it. Now, let us begin with our presentation. Rightly said by Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. Thus, it becomes vital to adapt to the present situation and bringing changes in the way how education and knowledge should be delivered to the students. We begin our session by knowing the meaning of social science, why the social science is important, and what is the objective of my presentation. What's that? Now, the meaning of social science is social science is the study of society, human behavior, and the relationship among individuals within the society. Social science encompasses various disciplines, including sociology, psychology, anthropology, economics, political science, history, geography, and many more subjects. The importance of studying social science is it helps to analyze own behavior and also the behavior of our peers. It gives us a better understanding of how to create a more inclusive and effective institution. Our objective of this presentation is to explore the historical evolution of social science and understand the current perceptions and the changes and discuss the future direction of the field. This slide deals with the historical perspective and the emergence of social science in India. As we know, the seeds of social science has been sown long before during the colonial era with institutions like the Asiatic Society of Bengal, which laid the foundation for the systematic study. In the post-independence era, when Britishers have left India, there was a surge in the establishment of social science departments in universities, which fueled by a need to understand the complexities of newly independent nation. But today, social science in modern era, in modern India, is a vibrant field which encompasses a wide range of disciplines and research methodologies. Now it becomes important for us to understand the subject, the framing of curriculum in relation to the changing perception of the subject. But before that, we must know the need of curriculum in social science. As we know, that social science encompass diverse concern of society, which includes a wide range of content drawn from discipline of history, geography, political science, economics, sociology, and many more. So the selection and organization of material into a meaningful social science curriculum which enables students to develop a critical understanding of society is a challenging task. So the curriculum is made to make the student develop the critical thinking in themselves, to enhance their communication skill, to understand our diversity, diversified India. As yesterday also, Ma'am Sunita has talked about diversity, and we all know India is so full of diversity. So when social science deals with society, it must we must inculcate the idea of understanding the diversity among the student. The curriculum will also try to create awareness of social issues. So with all these things, our Bhavan Tripura Vidyamandir has also taken many steps forward to inculcate and make the students more reliable in this present changing scenario of the society. I would like to share a short video of 1 minute maybe, so that you can understand how students are learning various patterns of society by actually inculcating or bringing them to the ground level of the society. I would share the video, but please let me know whether it is shared or not. Just a second. So, I hope my video has reached to everyone. So this kind of experiential learning helps the students to understand better the society. If they do not know the society, do not see the society, how will they understand the ground reality? What is there, the problems, the issues of the society? So with the time, we need to change the perceptions, and hence the perception changes are followed in the next slide. So, matriculators. So the responsibility of making the curriculum or framing the curriculum is with the National Curriculum Framework Department. This whole National Curriculum Framework, it came in the year 1975, and they framed the curriculum for the children's study or education. So in 1975, the National Curriculum for Elementary and Secondary Education has suggested to identify the essential units in each of the subject and then to unify them into an integrated syllabus. That time, the social science was taught as a separate subjects. NCERT at that time has prepared 3 separate textbooks like history, geography, and civics for class 6 to 10 students. However, for examination purpose, the 3 subjects were combined together under one paper called social science. In 1988, when National Curriculum Framework has released their new curriculum, it made no major changes in the syllabus for the upper primary stage. But at the secondary stage, one more book was added to the other 3 subjects, and this was the study of economics. In the year 2000, National Curriculum Framework for Social Education has discussed the need for social science curriculum to be comprehensive and complete, but it should not be loaded with numerous informations. Complete factual data should be there, which will help the students to know better about the society. Finally, in 2020, the National Educational Policy or NAP that came and stated that curriculum content will be reduced in each subject to its core essentials only, so that student gets space for critical thinking and more holistic inquiry-based, discovery-based, discussion-based, and analysis-based learning. They focus more on conceptual learning than focusing on rote learning. Today, the concept of rote learning is almost finished from our educational system, and students should know more, understand more the concept so that they can critically understand and analyze the topics. Now, following the next slides, we'll see how the perception of social science, how the ideas of social science was in earlier times and how in recently it has changed. The perception of social science in earlier times, the problems were social science merely transmitted any valuable information. The content was unconnected to daily realities. A student also could not connect to the facts that they are reading. There were inadequate instructional resources. Today, in our school and in many other schools also, we have smart class. We can make videos, we can do PowerPoints to make interest in the students. But earlier days, there were inadequate instructional resources through which the education could be given fruitfully to the students. The books provided unnecessary details about the past. The conceptual understanding was largely ignored, for which this social science subject has almost lost its utility at a particular point of time. But thankfully, the new perception of social science focuses on a broader view. Social science today enhances comprehension of the world. Comprehensive study of the world is focused by social science. It does not give lots and lots of information, but it gives valuable information, which helps the child to develop their critical thinking. It increases awareness about the world's various problems and happenings. Students now understand why the world faces such a crisis at a particular time. The study focuses on cultural understanding, knowing about the culture understanding better about the own culture as well as the culture of others. It leads to promote empathy among the students, which means students now understand how the others are feeling. They are not sympathetic, they are empathetic. They understand, they try to understand by walking on the shoes of others. The new perceptions focuses on many more ideas, like it helps the child in solving problem, in responding to various changes. It develops the leadership skill, which is very important nowadays among the child. It gives the child economic education. It makes them understand the economy. It makes them understand about the importance of economy in their life as well as in the nation. It improves their academic performance for sure, but it also builds organizational skill among the child. It tries to build political skill. It builds up mathematical skill among the students by various kind of economic equations, or we can see there are various kinds of studies which focuses and tries to build up and develop the mathematical skill among the child. It is an interdisciplinary subject line. It does not only focuses on giving ideas only about the society, but it inculcates the ideas of other disciplines also. It helps the child to become more responsible and face the society. Okay. The next topic we'll be dealing with the paradigm shift, the shift in goal of social science. How the goal was in earlier days and how it is now. But before we begin with the topic, I want you to see a short video so that you can understand the need of shifting in goal in social science.
असली पढ़ाई। टिंकू और रिंकी दोनों जुड़वा भाई बहन थे। एक ही स्कूल में एक ही क्लास में पढ़ते थे। दोनों पढ़ने में बहुत अच्छे थे, लेकिन अक्सर टिंकू ही ज्यादा नंबर लाता था। इस बार जब दोनों बच्चों ने साइकिल दिलाने की जिद की, तो पापा ने एक शर्त रख दी।
मेरे पास एक ही साइकिल लाने का बजट है। तुम दोनों में से जो भी क्लास में टॉप करेगा, उसे ही साइकिल मिलेगी।
पापा की बात सुन के दोनों बच्चे पढ़ाई में जुट गए। लेकिन टिंकू कुछ ज्यादा ही स्मार्ट था। उसे पता था कि नंबर्स कैसे लाते हैं। वो सिर्फ उतना ही पढ़ता था जितना कि एग्जाम में आने वाला है। वहीं रिंकी को पढ़ाई का शौक था। वो पूरी की पूरी किताबें पढ़ा करती थी।
देखना, साइकिल तो मुझे ही मिलेगी। तू जो इतना पढ़ रही है सब बेकार है। एग्जाम में ये सब नहीं आने वाला।
तुझे कैसे पता?
अरे ये देख, पिछले 3 साल के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स दिए हैं मुझे ट्यूशन वाले सर ने। हमेशा इन्हीं में से ही क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होते हैं।
ठीक है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लेना कोई शॉर्टकट। एग्जाम में जो भी आएगा बुक्स में से ही आएगा ना। मुझे पढ़ने दे, डिस्टर्ब मत कर।
दोनों बच्चों ने अपने अपने तरीके से पढ़ाई की। फाइनली एग्जाम हो गया।
ये एग्जाम खत्म, मस्ती शुरू।
कुछ ही दिनों में रिजल्ट घोषित हुआ और वही हुआ जैसा हर बार होता था। टिंकू ने टॉप किया, रिंकी सेकंड आई।
ये अब मुझे साइकिल मिलेगी, हुर्रे!
टिंकू को साइकिल मिल गई। वो बहुत खुश हुआ।
ये लो, लेकिन ध्यान रखना ये तुम दोनों की साइकिल है। रिंकी को भी चलाने देना।
लेकिन टिंकू कहाँ अब किसी की सुनने वाला था। वो तो बस साइकिल लेके चंपत हो गया। उसी दिन शाम को टिंकू और रिंकी का रिजल्ट अच्छा आने की खुशी में पूरा परिवार बाहर खाना खाने गया। खाने के बाद जैसे ही होटल से बाहर निकले तो अचानक से दो लोग माइक और कैमरा लेके उनके सामने आ गए।
हम लोग G1 साइकिल का प्रमोशन कर रहे हैं। बच्चों के लिए एक छोटा सा क्विज है। अगर सारे जवाब सही दिए तो G1 की टॉप मॉडल वाली साइकिल प्राइज में मिलेगी और साथ ही ये नया बैग और बॉटल भी।
दोनों बच्चों ने क्विज में पार्टिसिपेट किया। क्विज में जो सवाल थे वो सारे उनकी बुक्स में से ही थे, लेकिन एग्जाम पेपर से बिल्कुल अलग। रिंकी ने बुक्स बड़ी ध्यान से पढ़ी थी, इसलिए उसने कुछ ही समय में क्विज के सारे क्वेश्चंस हल कर दिए।
ये लीजिए अंकल, मैंने सारे क्वेश्चंस कर दिए।
क्या बात है, समय से पहले ही कर दिए। वेरी गुड।
टिंकू ने बहुत कोशिश की, लेकिन उसे जवाब नहीं आते थे। अंत में उसने भी पेपर दे ही दिया। दोनों के पेपर्स देखने के बाद ऑर्गेनाइजर्स ने विनर अनाउंस किया।
और इस क्विज में 100% सही जवाबों के साथ विजेता है रिंकी।
रिंकी को प्राइज में साइकिल भी मिल गई और साथ में दूसरे गिफ्ट्स भी। वहीं टिंकू को मिली एक सीख। टिंकू अब समझ गया था कि हमें सिर्फ नंबर्स के लिए नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए, लेकिन नॉलेज के लिए भी पढ़ना चाहिए।
Thank you for watching. I hope you have got the message from here that rote learning is like a shortcut. For a short period of time, for a short run, ये चल जाएगा. But for a long run, rote learning is not the ultimate option for us. We must focus on the conceptual learning because students are going to compete now. Students are going to face the real world society, where if the students do not know the conceptualized learning, do not understand the concept, rote learning will never help them in their near upcoming days. So here is the change of perception or the change in the goal of studying social science from earlier days to present day. Education does not transform the world. Education changes people, and people change the world. Well said by Paulo Freire, a Brazilian philosopher of education of the 20th century, who worked to help people through his philosophy and practice of critical pedagogy. He has underlined and he has given a theory that is relatable to the goal that social science was having in earlier days. The theory that he focused on is the banking concept of education. Before we move to the banking concept of education, we'd like to know the goal of social science in earlier days. Social science in earlier days was not goal-oriented, where the student's mind was only stuffed with information. Information was there, but students never understood the real meaning of the subject. So Paulo Freire, by analyzing all this societal pattern, has given his theory, or we can call banking concept of education. In this concept, he has focused and he has told that students depend on rote learning rather than conceptual learning to memorize the factual information. Factual information should not be based on rote learning. They should understand it. They should relate to the factual information. These are facts. If students learn just for examination, then it plays mere role in their life. According to him, education becomes an act of depositing, in which students are depositories, where everything is deposited and the teacher is the depositor. According to him, the teacher teaches and students were taught. He said the teacher knows everything and students know nothing. The teacher becomes the subject of learning process and the pupils are mere objects. The whole importance was given to the teacher and students were merely seen as a subject where they came to school for grabbing information grabbed, they went back to home, written down, vomited all the things in the examination, and next year they knows nothing about that. It should not be the motto of our social science. So presently there has been a shift in this goal for starting from primary stage to upper primary stage, secondary stage, and higher secondary stage. One by one, let us see how the goal has been shifted from rote learning concept to a conceptualized concept. We begin with the primary stage. At present, in the primary stage, the social science wants to develop in the child the skill of observation, identification, and classification. Students should observe, identify, and classify the happenings or the things going on around them, the societal pattern. Social science tries to develop in the child a holistic understanding of the environment. In the primary stage, they should understand the environment, what is there in the environment, how environment helps them. And it tries to sensitize the child to social issues and develop respect for difference and diversity. In our Indian society, we see a lot of diversities. If you move from one place to another, miles away from your home, if you go, you'll find new culture, new language, new food habits. There is so much language difference, religion difference, so many differences are there. Diversified in India it is. And students from the early age should try to respect these differences and diversity. In our small state of Tripura, also there are around 19 scheduled tribes group, along with the other groups of Bengalis and others. But everyone, if they do not know how to respect these differences, then society will not be a peaceful society in near future. So understanding the differences and respecting it should be inculcated from the early primary stage. In the upper primary stage, the social science focused to develop an understanding about the earth as the habitat of humankind and other forms of life. Students should know about the earth, the planet where they are living. It also tries to initiate the learner into a study of his or her own region, state, country in the global context. He should know from which region he is belonging to, which state he exists, and this is a part of which country and where this country is in the world map. This much a thing should a student must know in the upper primary stage. Social science, it tries to introduce the learner to the functioning and dynamics of social and political institutions and the processes of the country. Little bit idea about the legislature, executive, judiciary, and the functioning should be inculcated, should be given to them, the knowledge of these things, government, how they are formed, voting. These basic ideas should be given to them at the upper primary stage. They are the citizen and they must know their rights also. If they cannot know the name of the rights, at least they should understand the importance of rights in their life. Now, moving towards the secondary stage, our social science in the new paradigm shift, it tries to develop among the learner the analytical and conceptual skill so that it can enable him or her to understand the process of economics and the social change. The child should critically examine the social and economic issues and challenges of the society. This is the goal of secondary stage. The objective of secondary stage is to make the students understand about poverty, child labor, illiteracy, and various other dimensions of inequality that we see. We have seen in the video of our NSS that students are visiting the most backward region of our state. And there, when they have visited that place, they have forgotten someone is a child of a doctor, someone was the child of an engineer, but they forget their own life and they mixed up with the child's, like they knows them from a long time. And this habit, I hope each and every school in India can, if they try, they can inculcate among the children of today. Social science in secondary stage tries to understand the role and responsibilities of the state in fulfillment of constitutional obligations. They should understand the directive principles of state policy that are mentioned in the constitution and works as a guidelines to the state governments. Students at the secondary stage must know about it and should understand the responsibilities of the states towards them. In the secondary stage also tries to make the student understand the process of change and development in India in relation to the world economy and politics. Student must understand from this secondary stage how India's economy is growing and how India became the 5th largest economy of the world. And they should also try to understand if we are going to become the 3rd largest economy in near future, what are the steps we must take? How the polity, how the foreign relations are changing day by day. Students should try to understand this much of thing in the secondary stage through their social science subject. But when they move to the higher secondary stage, they get choice of streams. There is science, arts, commerce. So if the students get the choice of social science, that is humanities, according to their need and interest and aptitude, it leads the students to the world of work and employment. The choice of streams help the students to pursue their career, to choose where they can work in near future, what they can do. The social science or humanities of higher secondary stage tries to assist the student to explore their interest and aptitude in order to choose appropriate university courses. It tries to promote the problem-solving abilities and create thinking in the citizen of tomorrow. Higher secondary stage is the most vital stage when students are actually understanding the society. At this time, if they are choosing humanities, so the subjects should do justice, the teachers should do justice with the students to make them understand the society, because this is their career, this is their way of life from where they are going to lead a successful life. So these are the various changes in the goal shift from earlier days to the present days. So we can say that Paulo Freire said correct, that education will not transform the world, but it should change the people, and these people will change the world. So the new concept of present day should be understandable to all the teachers, and they must inculcate these things in their day-to-day classroom. activities. So now, how to meet up with these new perceptions of social science, these new ideas that we have seen? How can we meet up with such kind of perceptions? We'll focus in our next upcoming. The first thing through which this new perception, new ideas, new goals of social science that can be met is through teachers training. This platform is such a platform where this teachers training programs we can see after a few days only. And this, I hope, is enabling each and every teacher to gain more knowledge about what changes that are taking place in the world. Teachers training becomes so crucial nowadays because the whole system has changed. The whole perception has changed. And if the teachers are not aware about it, then change in the society and in the child is almost impossible. So teachers training, may it be in-house training, may it be an online training, but teachers training becomes most crucial in present day scenario. The teaching of social science has not been very effective, partly due to the lack of adequate emphasis on teachers training programs. We could also see that earlier there were no such teachers training program that were taken after every few days. No, maybe in a year one training, or maybe that also was not going on properly in many parts of our country. But today, NCERT, CBSE has taken initiative and regular such training programs. 50 hours of training for the teachers becomes mandatory for the present day. And through training, through this kind of training, seminar, webinar, we can gain a lot of knowledge, and we can give those knowledge, we can share those knowledge, and we can bring changes in the education system in present day. So the state now has to provide the necessary logistic and financial support for effective and frequent in-service training program, so that the teacher's understanding of the subject is updated every time. Teachers who are very stereotypical, and their ideas were based on the ideas of those earlier times. They believed on rote learning. This kind of teachers, or these teachers, must have the idea how changes are brought up in educational system, and they must know how to adapt this new educational system. For that, the principals of each and every school and the authority can organize such kind of training programs again and again to make the teachers reliable, to make the teachers understandable about the changes in the that has been brought by the new educational policy, or the national educational policy of 2020. Textbook is one of the most important material that should be seen as one of the source only. Textbook is very important for gaining the knowledge. It should be one of the source for developing one's understanding. But a teacher, when they are explaining or they are giving the classroom transaction, textbook should be neglected at that period of time. If a social science teacher uses the textbook in the classroom, students do not take interest in it. We see students do not, if we simply say the students to keep on reading and reading, they will feel bored, and the subject becomes more stereotypical, and they do not take an interest in it. But a good textbook is very important for getting updated syllabus and updated curricula, and it should be seen as one of the sources for developing understanding. The use of teacher's handbook in the different discipline of social science should be made mandatory. The outcome of social science research studies could be made accessible to the vast number through serious and effective training. Every day, new research is coming up, new studies are being published, and these things can only be transmitted to the teachers through effective training programs. Training programs must be there both at the pre-service and in-service level. And every time the teacher should remain updated with the help of this kind of teachers training program. The next most important thing that we must do or apply in the classroom is a TLM. Teaching learning material becomes so crucial and so vital in the classroom today that present 21st century child, they get so attracted to this teaching learning materials that they grasp the knowledge within a few seconds if the teaching learning materials are proper. TLM helps them. It can be of various types. You can use from simple to simple things like if we want to explain, for example, the latitude and longitude, the students, I know in geography, explaining the concept of latitude and longitude, students take a lot of time to understand this. But teachers merely uses a new concept. We also can use the biscuit. We all have seen Good Day biscuits. There, the lines, it could be understandable. If you show the student once those biscuits and you make them understand that these lines, when it is in this kind of position, we call it a latitude. Whenever they will eat the biscuit, I hope the student can relate with the topic that they have understood in the classroom. What about longitude? We can use the oranges. Orange connects from one corner to another corner. It looks more or less like the shape of the earth also. So with those orange, we can make them understand about the longitudinal lines that connects the North Pole to the South Pole. And if students get interest in the subject, they will come to you to know more about that subject. So it is very important for us to bring new ideas in the form of TLM or teaching learning materials. Simple ideas can make the classroom more lively. Only explaining and giving knowledge and leaving the classroom will never make that classroom a successful one. So equal teaching time and marks should be allocated to the various components in the social science. A right balance should be maintained in the distribution of themes according to the different disciplines. Topics that are there in social science should be logically arranged in the right sequence. We have already learned in our earlier days that when we want to learn the sequence of all the planets, it was like my excellent mother just shows us 9 planets. Though Pluto is not there, so the term has been changed. But in a sequential order, if students learn everything, if you can make them logically understand the right sequence of everything, students will surely learn it. There are various topics. We can take some time from our daily life and we can make the topic more lively with those sequence. A glossary of the technical terms and an index at the end of the book should be provided. Or whenever you take a classroom, whenever you complete the class, please make a note where all the technical terms and the important terms are written down. So when the students are answering, when students are preparing for their exam, they can use those words to make their understanding, to make their answers a more perfect one. Before the publication of textbook, it should be vetted to check inadvertent gender and social bias. The textbook, your classroom transaction should never be a biased one. When these things are biased, students' mind automatically becomes a biased one. So the teachers should take care of all these things and make the student understand about the various career options that they can pursue by choosing social science. There are a lot of people think that if you take social science as your career, you will either go for UPSC exam or any local level civil service exam, but their ideas are limited to a particular area. But no, there are many more things that students can pursue their career in. A student who is good in poetry writing, who is good at writing essays, they can become the editor. There is the field to become multimedia specialist in this generation of AI. They can become a multimedia specialist, digital marketing strategist. They can become, if they are understanding the society, they can understand the strategy of the society, and marketing digitally will give them a lot of career options. They can become an activist who can actively work for the society, social worker, historian, teacher, archaeologist, politician, journalist. There are so many career options. And if the students know about all these things, students will surely like to engage with social science or humanities more and more in their education and level. The future of social science. We know that AI is taking the world now. AI is everywhere. If you see, the toughest things are made at a simple, within a few moments of time with the help of AI. And thus our studies, our education should bring more and more smart ideas, more and more new ideas so that children can get benefited. We need to bring interdisciplinary collaboration where the continued integration of social science with other disciplines like technology, data science, and behavioral economics to address the societal changes should be brought up. All these things should be linked up in a present day social science. It must be data-driven insights where leveraging advanced analytics, machine learning, and big data to uncover new patterns and generate more precise and actionable insights among the children. Finally, an emphasis on social impact should be given. A growing focus on translating research into real-world applications and driving positive change in communities and policy making. All these things are future trends and predictions of social science that must be brought up in the education or in the curriculum of social science. Concluding my topic, if all these points I could make you understand, or if I could explain these points, I would now like to conclude with some few lines. Social science helps students to learn about their communities and the world at large. Students knows better about their surroundings, about the world by understanding social science only. It will help the student to develop the essential skills and become more responsible where they can adapt to the changes. If we are looking for a subject that would help our child excel academically and socially, then social science is a great choice, where they get understanding of the society, the ground reality of the society, and practically it tries to make the society a better one. So to rise up the demand of changing perception of social science, we, all stakeholders, the teachers, should synchronize ourselves to the changes and make the students understand the changes that took place in the educational system. Thank you, everyone. This was the topic that I have been given to discuss on. And I hope I have tried to do justice with the topic. And thank you, Principal Ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to discuss on this topic, such an important topic I would share with everyone. And thanks to Sir Anil Sharma Sir, our educational officer, for bringing such an important initiative for the teachers, for the faculties to understand the newly changed perceptions of social science. Over to you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was really an excellent session. The example you have given for the good day biscuits or the oranges, it is really what to say, but it is excellent. Thank you again for sharing your insights with us, sir. Your presentation was really informative and inspiring. Now, I will request Madam Navanita Shaha to sum up the session of Sir Vidyamandir. Over to Navanita, ma'am.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am,
audible,
you are
madam?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible as well as visible also.
Good afternoon and warm greeting to all the dignitaries and teachers present in the platform. I extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Vidyamandir for the insightful presentation on changing perceptions of social science. Sir, your comprehensive exploration of the historical evolution, current perceptions, and future directions of social science education has been truly enlightening. Now I am coming to the definition and importance of social science. Social science is defined as the branch of study that deals with human society and social relationships. It plays a critical role in developing critical thinking, understanding diversity, enhancing communication skills, and raising awareness of social issues. This whole presentation has three key objectives: to explore the historical evolution of social science, to understand current perceptions of social science, and to discuss the future directions of social science. Now we are coming to the historical perceptions, and it has been categorized in three arenas. The first one is colonial era, and the second one is post-independent era, and the third one is modern era. All three are beautifully explained by Sir. And the next, he has focused on curriculum in social science, where he touched few key areas like developing critical thinking, understanding diversity, enhancing communication skills, and awareness of social issues. Here, sir, shown a beautiful video about the awareness of social issues. Then, a most important area is reflected in his presentation, which is National Curriculum Framework for 4 years in 1975, 1988, 2000, and 2020. Sir has beautifully depicted each framework, introduced changes reflecting the evolving perceptions and needs of social science education. Now I am coming to the another point provided by this presentation of Sir Diptonupal, which is perception of social science. And the presentation is classified into two stages: earlier perception and new perception. And he was nicely demonstrated and analyzed various features of earlier and new perceptions. Then once again, he focused on paradigm shift in goal where he attended two things. The focus has shifted from rote learning to goal-oriented education and emphasizes on nurturing students' mind with relevant information and skills. Here also, sir showed a lovely video. Surely, here is summary outlining the changing perception of social science at different educational stages and the objectives at secondary and higher secondary stages. If we classify the perception of social science in primary stage, few things are very important, like understanding surroundings, basic ideas, and skills. But in case of upper primary stages, things which are very important like wider view, thinking skills, and citizenship. But in case of secondary stage, the detailed study, analyzing, and civic responsibilities are important. Let us now we discuss that the higher secondary stage. Here are discussed the specialization, research skills, and career perceptions, etc. Sir discussed the objectives of secondary stage like knowledge, civic duty, and thinking skills. And in the objective of higher secondary stage, Sir discussed advanced learning, research, future perceptions are most important. If I am coming to the teacher training for the social science, different areas are explained like curriculum updates, interactive methods, critical thinking, techniques, and the cultural sensitivity, professional development, and the communication engagement, and many other things that has been discussed. At the next stage of his presentation, it should be kept in mind that changing perception of teaching learning materials for social science from textbook to digital resource, from static maps to interactive maps, from memorization to critical thinking, from teacher-centered to student-centered, and from local to global perception. At the final stage of his presentation, one thing which should be important to speak about, the career option in social science. And I think according to the presentation as well, there are many options for social science students or the people who engaged in social science like digital marketing specialist, social workers, multimedia specialist, historian, and archaeologist, and whatnot. Yes, there are several other options for the social science to build a career. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your ideas with us. We have come to the end of our today's program. Thank you all for a fantastic third day. I want to express my gratitude to all the speakers for their insightful presentation and your active participation. We have achieved some great progress today. See you tomorrow on the same platform with some new resource person and with their new ideas. Till then, namaskar.